to 𝘿𝙚𝓷𝓭𝓮𝓻. Today we never got Wonder Slime featuring the new Hisuian Goodra VSTAR from Lost Origin with a rolling iron attack, doing 200 damage plus a special effect of reducing damage done to it by 80 during your opponent's next turn. It requires 1 water, 1 metal, and 1 colorless, so we're playing 4 copies of Melony to help us satisfy the attack cost, and also our Radiant Greninja for the energy discard. So if Goodra remains in the active spot during your opponent's next turn after using this attack, it is taking a lot less damage from attacks, and that actually allows us to play our Togepi, Togetic, and Togekiss for the damage recovery abilities, helping us recover a lot of damage every single turn with Touch of Happiness, Voice of Happiness, and Shine of Happiness. You only get to use this ability when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon or onto your bench, but we have our Scuba Net to help us reuse this healing effect. In addition to our Togekiss, we're playing 2 copies of Crystal Cave for the additional recovery. For the draw support, we have 2 Bibarel, 1 Marnie, 1 Bird Keeper, and 4 Melonies. To summon our basic Pokemon, we're playing 4 VIP Pass, 3 Quick Ball, 1 Capture, 1 Stormy Mountain, and 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball. For the evolution, we have 2 Incense and 3 Ultra Balls. For the switch, we have 1 Escape Rope, 2 Scuba Nets, and 1 Bird Keeper. We also have 1 Ordinary Rod to shuffle back our Pokemon energies, 1 energy search to get our basic metal, 2 Bosses Order for the Sharp Power Play, 1 Pokégear to get any supporter from the top 7 cards of our deck, and 2 Rare Candies for Togekiss. Finally, for our energies, we're playing 2 Aurora, 1 Capture, 2 Basic Metal, and 7 Basic Water Energy. We also have an alternate list that plays an extra copy of Starmie to replace for a Metal Energy, and also a third variation that plays Zamazenta V from Brilliant Stars to replace for an Ordinary Rod. So that's all for the deck list. Now let's go for some gameplay! Okay, let's go with our first game versus Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. They got Melony with a Water Box, and they are playing Double Turbo as well. So we are playing a Hisuian Pokemon as well. We got Goodra VSTAR from Lost Origin, the new VSTAR, Power Tanker, and we also have Melony in this deck. We're not playing 𝘿𝙚𝓚𝓮 though. It would be quite interesting to play 𝘿𝙚𝓚 for your Hisuian Goodra, just because it's a Hisuian Pokemon. If you have it in your active, you get to draw extra 2 cards with 𝘿𝙚𝓚. Drawing 4 cards with that supporter, pretty cool. So Hisuian Zoroark got Double Turbo on the first turn. They can quite easily do a boss on the second turn to kill our Goodra before it evolves, so we have to be careful for that. I don't think there's any way to avoid that except Diancie. At one point, I decided to remove Diancie from the deck and play 0 copy just because we actually need a lot of draw support and a lot of strategy, a lot of tech cards to make our heal combo work, to make sure Togekiss gets to use his ability at all throughout the game. We have to make sure to add, power cards like Marnie, Bird Keeper. If we don't add in enough switches, if they play Paralysis or Poison, we get trapped, and we're done for. So we cannot actually play Diancie. You can actually think of playing Diancie with Lucky Egg or some other draw support mechanics, but I prefer not to play Diancie. If they boss and knock out your Goodra, we got our Rod, our Ordinary Rod to shove it back, and even a second copy to summon with our Stormy Mountain or another Quick Ball. So it's not too bad, we can recover quite easily. If we play our second copy, we got Melony to charge it up for the next turn and evolve to do Moisture Star if they knock it out fast as well, if they do damage to it fast, immediately after the first Goodra knockout. So I think we can save ourselves pretty well, even if we get bossed before the evolution. And normally, decks can't do a one-hit knockout even on a V Pokemon early game. Decks these days, like, Lost decks, Star Requiem, they can't play Mirage Gate that early before we evolve. If they go first, then they may be able to do it on their second turn before we get our VSTAR. But it's actually a long shot, right? Because they need their evolution, they need to evolve the VSTAR Giratina, they also need their Mirage Gate, they need to lose enough cards. And I don't think they can play a boss though. If they play Colress, they can't play a boss, so I think we're safe. And Zoroark needs Gapejaw Balk. If they don't get their Gapejaw Damage Pump, if they don't get those specific cards out early in the game, they cannot actually do a one-hit knockout on your Goodra. That means you're safe, and you can evolve on your next turn. So there we go, they're only doing 150 damage, 130 because of the Double Turbo, but 160 on a V Pokemon because they got a Choice Belt. So they need 350 damage to kill the Goodra in the active spot. If they do an Escape Rope and then do a boss, they only need 270 damage. because then our effect is removed. They actually erase the effect by forcing us to switch our Pokemon back into the bench and then pull it back out with a boss. So that means we have no damage reduction effect, and they only need to hit 270 damage to kill off the V-Star, even less if we have damage counters already on it. So I think Escape Rope is going to destroy Goodra. If you don't play a V-Guard energy, there's going to be a V-Guard energy for the next set. And if you don't play Radiant Gardevoir with your late Acuity, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to survive, for you to tank damage with your Goodra, especially without the tool card, right? No Big Charm. I don't think you can play Full Face Guard because you got your ability. I'm not sure if you can use it though, because once you use the ability, after using Moisture Star, you essentially have no more ability, right? Goodra no longer has an ability because, you know, it's a V-Star power. You cannot use it after, once you use it, it's done for. I've seen people play Butterfree with the Full Face Guard. I've seen someone play that before. So Butterfree with the Tricolor Skill ability, once you evolve this card from your hand, you get to poison, burn, and confuse your opponent's active Pokemon, but the ability only works once. That means after evolving from your hand, it no longer has the ability. So since it has no more ability, since Butterfree no longer has the ability, it gets to use the Full Face Guard tool card effect. So I'm not sure if it works for a V-Star as well, just because after using the V-Star power, you no longer have the ability. I'm pretty sure it should work though, but I don't think it does. Because if it does, people would be using it by now. Goodra with Full Face Guard. It would be so good because you are reducing damage not only by 80 but 20 more with your tool card, and another 20 with your Radiant Gardevoir, possibly another 20 with your Stadium card. Here comes Gengar, the pre-release promo, super cool Gengar, and they got an empty hand. They got no cards in their hand, but you'll see on the next turn they got Bibarel immediately, because that's how consistent their deck is. So it's not over yet. They got Bibarel on the next turn. Okay, we're gonna attach our Water Energy on the bench, preparing the next one already, and we're gonna do Moisture Star this turn because we got no Togetic, unfortunately. And we're not able to discard our Water Energy without Greninja. And we didn't get our Quick Ball, Ultra Ball. I'm not sure what type of list I'm playing for this game, but I don't think we have a Stormy. I don't think we have that many Quick Balls either. I think we only are playing 2 copies of Quick Ball, 1 Great Ball, and 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball. So now we have no more Great Ball. We have the Quick Ball instead. 3 Quick Ball is much more safer because that way you get to discard your hand to draw more cards with Bibarel and also discard your energy for you to play Melony. Not only that, you get to summon your basic Pokemon on the first turn much easier. If you play 3 copies, it's going to show up it's going to have a higher chance of showing up in your hand early. If you only play 2 copies of Quick Ball with 1 Great Ball, it's going to be quite difficult to get them out on the first turn to bench fast. And if you don't bench fast, you're done for. You need to bench your Bibarel, you need to bench Bidoof, Togepi, Radiant Greninja, and Goodra. All you need though, I think the ideal case is to have a Bidoof and a Togepi on your bench. In addition to a Goodra, obviously you need a Goodra to attach energy on the first turn. If you don't, you're done for. But if you get a Togepi in addition to the Bidoof, that would be a plus. If you get a capture for a Radiant Greninja, that would be even better. So all we need is 3 bench Pokemon, 3 Pokemons in play actually, 2 bench, 1 Bidoof, and 1 Togepi. We don't really need a lot. Okay, we're gonna do Industrious Incisor. Let's heal. I don't think we can heal that much though. I think we have to basically say goodbye to the active. It's not gonna survive the next hit. So we have, if we get our Crystal Cave though, we may be able to survive, but they have their Gape Jaw. They need Damage Pump though, unless if they want to scoop up the Bibarel. I'm not sure if we can survive the next turn. Let's just retreat. I think it would be better for us to retreat, because even if we hit right now, it would be the same thing. If we get our Crystal Cave on the next turn, it would help us recover back, or at least let them waste their boss just for a knockout. So we're basically biding time for us to get the Crystal Cave for the bench to recover damage. We got our Melony to recover the energy later, so we should be retreating right now. We got our Bird Keeper and Scuba Net for the switch if they boss something else and force us to get trapped. So I don't think, you know, things are getting any better for them because we got 2 prize remaining. They need 5 more prize, and they got the V-Star. But after this, do they have another? Okay, they're gonna need to play a boss right now. I'm not sure if they can knock it out this turn. Of course not, right? They need 350 damage. Well, they actually can though. If they have a powerful and a choice belt, they actually can hit 350. Because max damage for Ticking Curse is 300 damage for 6 Pokemons in play with damage counters. And then if they add 30 more with Choice Belt, it's 330. They actually still need a powerful energy in addition to that. Without the powerful, they can't kill the Goodra with 1 hit. They need Escape Rope boss on the same turn, or boss the bench to kill it off and then deal with the second Goodra later. So Togekiss is a very fun card to play because you are healing. You don't get to heal as much damage as you'd like. If you play Hyper Potion, you get to heal more, but you need your Melony to recover the energy. If you get hammered, you're done for, right? If you play a Hyper Potion and if they play a Crushing Hammer, then you essentially have 0 energy on your Goodra. Melony is not going to help you attack on your next turn. They're going to get stuck. So that's the danger of playing Hyper Potion. That's the danger of discarding too many energy from your own Pokemon for the recovery. That's why we have instead our Pokemon's ability for the healing effect for us to recover damage. And we are healing only 10 damage for Togepi, 30 damage for Togetic, and 90 damage with Shine of Happiness with Togekiss. And that's a lot of damage. We got 2 rare candies for Togekiss, and 2 Togetic to evolve stage by stage. If we evolve from our hand, we can scoop it up later, and then or even scoop it up on the same turn, and then bench the Togepi for an extra 10 damage recovery, and then, you know, on the next turn we can play a rare candy. So if we have a Togetic and a Togepi in play, we may be able to heal 180 damage or more if we get the scoop up that by doing a rare candy evolution and another, you know, incense evolution for the Togekiss, a double Togekiss evolution. We even have 2 Crystal Cave for this deck, so it's really fun. So for this list, as you can see, we have a Diancie and even a Hoodhood to guard our energy. I don't think we got our Hoodhood inside the deck. I think it's prized, but I'm pretty sure we have a Hoodhood. So Astro Radiance Hoodhood. Oh, we don't have a Hoodhood. Okay, my bad. That was one of the earlier lists then, I suppose. Not for this game. Astro Radiance Hoodhood actually guards your bench Pokemon from your opponent's item cards that discard your basic energy. So that means your bench Pokemon gets to keep their basic energy against your opponent's items. That means Crushing Hammer cannot discard your basic energy on the bench. It's very, very limiting because it only works for your bench Pokemon. It only works on item cards. It only works on your basic energies. It doesn't work for special energies. So it's like there's triple restrictions there. So Hoodhood is just not a good card. There used to be a better ability for XY generation, Carbink, of a rock type Carbink, which actually guards your energy. I think it's called Energy Saver or something. I forgot the ability, but it protects all energies from being discarded by effects of item card supporter abilities, If if the energy is attached to your basic Pokemon. It only works for basic Pokemon, but at least it protects from everything, and it even protects I think it even protects special energies. I'm not too sure. But it's definitely better than 𝘿𝙚𝙢. Anything is better than 𝘿𝙚𝙢. Come on. You never know though, in certain decks it could actually work. So let's just play Melony right now. If we get our incense, I would be very happy. There we go. We got 2 incense and 3 Ultra Balls, so we should be getting something. So we are playing a lot of evolution for this deck. We have our V-Star, Bibarel, Stage 2 Togekiss. That's why we need that many incense. That many Ultra Balls / incense. There was a stage of this deck build, this experimentation, where I decided to add, cut down to only 2 copies of Togepi, and realized that is just not enough. If we play only 2 Togepis, we may have 1 prize, and even if we have a heavy ball inside the deck, we may not get the heavy ball until the very end, and that would actually screw us over. So only 1 Togepi is going to be really bad because we have not enough recovery on the Goodra, which is our main strategy, and if we can't pull off the main strategy, it would be quite embarrassing. Like if our biggest advantage fails, it would defeat the purpose of the entire combo. And for this combo to work, we actually need a solid 3 copy of the basic Togepi for us to evolve 2 at the same time, 2 Togetic, or even 1 Togetic and a Togekiss, or if you're lucky, double Togekiss. Okay, they are doing, excuse the drilling, I think my neighbor is doing some renovation upstairs, so if you guys don't mind, there's some drilling going on. I'm sorry about that, there's nothing I can do. I tried complaining, but, management just doesn't do anything about it. They just don't do anything about it. I did everything I could. There's noise pollution everywhere. Demons everywhere. Anyways, they're playing Arceus V-Star with Dialga, and it appears they have already used their V-Star power. They did Star Birth instead of Star Chronos, and that means they are not killing Goodra with 1 hit. If they did the Chronos, they can knock out the Goodra, the first one. We got our Rod to shove it back. I don't think we're playing Rod for this list because we have a Diancie. This is a very different list. So Rod is very important because if you got your second V-Star prized, you actually need to shuffle back the first one to evolve your second copy. You have your heavy ball to get your second Goodra, the basic Goodra, but you have no way of getting the second V-Star if you get it prized. So that's why we need the Rod. That's why Ordinary Rod is so important, especially for a Bibarel deck. Bibarel needs Paw Pad and Ordinary Rod. If you're discarding cards from your hand on the go, with Ultra Ball, Quick Ball, Aurora Energy, just for you to be able to draw enough cards with your Industrious Incisor. If you don't draw enough, you can't do enough. You can't pull off the proper combo. You can't, you can't strategize. You can't win the game. You can't get the cards that you need. And if you discard the things that you need, you're gonna have to shuffle them back. That's why we need Paw Pad. We don't have Paw Pad for this list just because we are playing 4 copies of Melony and 2 copies of Boss. So even if we discard 1 of the Boss, you could actually think about playing 1 Boss and 1 Paw Pad instead of 2 copies of the Boss. But I prefer 2 Bosses because even if we get it early, we can still discard 1 and use the other one later. If we are lucky, we may be able to use 2 Bosses without having to discard any. And if we play a Paw Pad though, we're gonna have to wait for the boss to show up first. If the Paw Pad shows up first, then we can't use the boss effect. That's the bad thing about playing a Paw Pad. We do have a Pokégear though, Pokégear to get the boss into our hand. But if you're not playing that many supporters, I don't think Pokégear is gonna help you get the boss. Especially if you're only playing 1 copy inside the deck. Unless if you're near the end of the game, if you have very few cards left, It would defeat the purpose though, because we want to be playing a boss early. That's why we're playing 2 copies. Sometimes it's better to play it early, especially if they have a knockout condition on the bench. If they can do a 2-hit KO with a V-Star on the bench, and then we can't actually knock it out on the next turn, obviously, because if they strike first, we have to basically tank a second hit before we can knock out the first V-Star. So doing an early boss can actually save us. If we strike the V-Star on the bench first, that means they only have 1 hit. They can only hit our V-Star, our Goodra, 1 time, and then they actually have to prepare the next V-Star before they're able to kill off our first Goodra. And by the time they get their second one, we can already get our Togekiss to recover all the damage all the damage from our Goodra, and basically save ourselves extra few turns. Okay, we actually won that one. They played a Zacian with Dialga, V-Star, and Arceus. So very fun, very interesting metal box with Arceus. Bad thing about Arceus with if you're playing Arceus with additional V-Stars in your deck, you are not able to play, you know, double V-Star powers. Like, you have to choose whether to do Star Birth or something else, like Fluff Ball Star or Star Birth, Star Requiem or Star Birth, Ivy Star or Star Birth. You can't use both. You have to choose. Star Chronos is so much better. So if you're forced to play Star Birth getting stuck early in the game, I don't think you get to play the Chronos. And if you don't get to play the Chronos, it would suck a lot because Dialga doesn't actually do much. If Dialga gets knocked out, like, you're gonna get stuck on the next turn. Like, if you're spending so many Metal Saucers on your Dialga, if you're doing Trinity Nova though, Dialga can still do a lot of damage with Metal Blast, but it's not doing enough though, is it? Even with 5 energies attached, it's only doing 240 damage. So I'm not sure if Dialga is that powerful. 5 energies, can you imagine? You're wasting 5 energies just to do 240 damage. Like, Hisuian Zoroark is so much better in terms of damage output. Why not play a Zoroark if you're doing Starbirth, right? But Zoroark doesn't need Starbirth though. Zoroark doesn't need Trinity Nova because it only requires 2 energy. So Zoroark with Melony is probably the best. Zoroark with Raihan, I'm not too sure, but Melony, I suppose, is the best. Okay, here comes a mirror match. Goodra versus Goodra. They're playing a Lost Box with Mirage Gate, and we are playing, I think they have Fantina as well. So this is a bit crazy. They're tanking, they're reducing by 80, and then they're reducing by 120 more with Fantina on all of their Pokemon. So even if you do Escape Rope Boss, Fantina still works. If you do Escape Rope Boss though, the Rolling Irons effect gets erased. That means they're only reducing damage done by 120 damage. They're only reducing by 120. They're not reducing by 200. So Escape Rope is a big card right now. If you play Escape Rope, you can kill a Goodra V-Star with 1 hit. You need to do a boss at the same time though. Or maybe a double Escape Rope if your opponent has like only 1 bench. Playing a Goodra. So that's why you see Comfy decks playing 4 Escape Ropes. They don't play that many switches or switch card. I don't think switch card is smart though, because if you're doing a V-Star, you shouldn't be playing a switch card. Okay, here comes an Ultra Ball. So Goodra versus Goodra, we can heal a lot of damage over and over until we run out of our Scoop Up Nets. They can essentially tank a lot of damage. They can reduce so much with Fantina. So it's basically which player can buy enough time to win the game. Who has enough turns to basically, you know, deck the other player out. How long can we drag this game for? I guess we'll find out. So we're gonna play our capture and then draw the cards with Bibarel. Let's hope we get a switch, or we got the Scoop Up Net. Oh, we got everything. Okay, we got everything. We got a Scoop Up Net and Melony. We want to be playing like a bird. Oh well, an escape rope, right? For the Togepi, because that would be wasting our scope of net if we use it. I'm not sure if we need a second Goodra. That's why I was thinking maybe we shouldn't be benching the third Togepi. I don't think we need a third Togepi. We got another Melony. So sometimes you may not be able to draw with Bibarel. You may get stuck and, you know, Bibarel may not be doing anything for you for a few turns. But if they do a Marnie or Roxanne, Bibarel would be helping you a lot. So Bibarel is basically there to save your hand against a Marnie or a Roxanne, a Judge, something like that. Even a Thievul or Kingdra. Any hand disruptions. But if we can get the Ultra Ball, Aurora, or even Quick Ball to discard our hand, if we have the evolutions as well, if we can play the rare candy from our hand, if we need it at the right time, then we may be able to draw more cards on the next turn. Here comes the Mirage Gate, an item for 2 energies. Pretty crazy, isn't it? But it has a crazy, it's a big condition though. I tried doing the Lost Box with Togekiss, it doesn't work. Because Togekiss is a stage 2 support. And if you do the Lost deck, you cannot afford to fit in that many Pokemon cards into the deck. If you play a V-Star Evolution, an Evolution card as well, it's gonna be a lot tight. It's gonna be tight enough with the Mirage Gate combo to play a V-Star. You know, let alone a stage 2 support. You don't have the space for any other things. You can only play your Comfey, Lost Vacuum, maybe a Bayonet, you know, Sableye, Cramorant, all the Lost combos with your Mirage Gate and Colress, and then fit in enough energy and Rods Recyclers to make sure you don't lost the wrong things. So if you play a Lost Box, you don't have enough space to add in supports, right? If you do Giratina V-Star, all you can do is add Sableye's and, you know, maybe, you know, a Radiant Greninja and Cramorants in there as well. You can't actually add other, you know, creative combos. There's no room for anything but Comfey, Colress, Energy, Recyclers, and, you know, Rods, stuff like that. You cannot afford to fit in anything else. It would basically take away the consistency of the deck, and you would get stuck. So for this list, we actually have a Cologne, a canceling Cologne, because we got matched up against Miltank a lot of times, and we got really frustrated against Miltank, and we decided to play a Cologne. But we eventually decided to just remove the Cologne, reason being that we can actually attach the Aurora to our Togekiss. We can knock out the Miltank by doing Magical Shot using Togekiss to attack with 3 energies. It is a lot of energy, but if we attach inconspicuously onto our Togepi, they may not expect it because we have our Togekiss to do 120 damage for 3 energies. If we do Aurora and 2 colorless, we can actually kill it with 1 hit. If they don't have like a Pot Helmet or a Cape of Toughness. So if they play a full Miltank deck, we can't win. I'm sorry to say, there's no chance of winning against a full Miltank deck. If they play only 1 copy of Miltank, we have 2 Aurora energy for us to help, for you to attack with Togekiss for a 1-hit knockout against the, what's it called again? Against the Miltank. And if they play a second copy, if they revive the Miltank, you can do Escape Rope, double boss to kill something else on the bench. So if they don't play the Miltank early, you may be able to collect the fast prizes on the, you know, before they play the Miltank. You may be able to collect your first 2 prize before they're able to get enough energies on the Miltank to attack, or even, you know, bench it fast. If they get it early though, I think you're done for, because if you do Escape Rope boss, you only get 3 prizes that way. And then if you do Magical Shot with your Togekiss, you got your 4th prize. And if they play a second Miltank after that, if they revive it immediately on the next turn with a Rod and a Quick Ball, then you're basically stuck. You can't win, because we only have 1 Escape Rope and 2 boss. No way of recycling those cards. Rolling Iron, they just killed our Bibarel, so now we have no draw support. We do have a Bird Keeper, no Melonies. Should we bench a Goodra right now? I'm thinking of benching the basic. If we bench it right now, they may do a boss, but I don't think they can kill it anyways. We should be benching when we have the Melony, right? Because if they do a boss, we get stuck, we are not able to attack. We want to be attacking non-stop. Because if we miss one turn not doing damage, then they are gonna collect the win. They got 2 Goodra V-STAR as well. So both players are playing double V-STARs. And they actually got the second V-STAR inside the deck. We got the second V-STAR priced. So we got a bit unlucky for this game. Another 120, and both players have yet to play the V-STAR ability. Moisture Star is gonna recover, is gonna buy both players so much more turns. This is insane. Goodra versus Goodra. Oh my goodness. We got Togekiss and Bibarel. No Mirage Gate, Melony instead. They got a Lost Box. I don't think they're playing Sableye, because they have Water and Metal Energy. They may just have the Psychic, you never know. Sableye at the, at the last minute. An ambush Sableye. And there we go. They did a Mirage Gate on the bench Goodra. We would have benched it faster if we got the Melony. But we got the Melony from the top deck, I think. I'm not sure where that Melony come from. Now we have it in our hand, but I'm not sure where it came from. I think we did a Bird Keeper. Oh yeah, we did a Bird Keeper to draw 3 cards. Rolling Iron. So they used the V-STAR power first. I was pretty confident that we got the win, because they did their Moisture Star first. But you'll see later that it was quite a close game. Like, it's a bit crazy. I don't want to give spoilers, but, it's a very intense game. So we are gonna do another Rolling Iron, but we want to be getting our Togekiss, our Rare Candy or Togetic, for enough recovery to survive the next hit. So we have to prepare, always be prepared for an Escape Rope boss, and recover enough damage to deny them the knockout that way, because if they do Escape Rope, you are not taking less damage. That means they only need 140 damage on the next turn. So if we recover another 30, they just need 170 damage. We need to recover a lot more. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. We are not healing. We're not playing the Ultra Ball. Apparently, we're not getting the Togetic. I don't think we have 2 copies of the Stage 1. I'm pretty sure we got the Togetic discarded. We have the Ultra Ball though. I mean, we should be searching for it, right? I don't know why I'm not playing the Togetic. I guess maybe I'm saving it for the next turn. Like for later. We should be preparing for the Stage 2 though. So always evolve into the Stage 1 even if you're not doing anything. Even if you're not recovering any damage on your active. I think it's best practice to evolve into the Togetic fast. Because that way you get 90 damage recovery on your next turn. You get way more by evolving into the Stage 2 rather than just evolving into the Stage 1. 30 damage recovery is not enough. If they do a big damage attacker, if they hit as much as 300 damage, then you're only reducing 80. That means they got 22 damage control on your active, on your Goodra. How are you going to recover enough for you to survive the next turn without the Togekiss? So that's why I say you need to evolve into your Togetic as fast as possible, regardless of how much damage you're healing. If you're healing 0, you still have to evolve into the Togetic. You just have to. You have no choice. It's just a preparation, right? preparing for that 90 damage recovery on the next turn. Okay, they did not knock it out, thank God. Now we're gonna do Moisture Star. I think we're forced to. So if we play the Crystal Cave, then both players is gonna take 30 damage recovery. Is gonna be able to make use of that stadium card. So this is a very funny matchup because we are playing kind of the same strategy. Tanking. They are actually playing, instead of healing, they're playing Fantina to tank even more, reducing a lot of damage. So that means they need to lose a lot of cards because they're not playing Comfy anymore. I don't think they have enough switches for Comfy to use the ability enough times. That means they need Colress to lose enough cards for them to play the Fantina. At some point you'll see that we actually did 0 damage. I'm not sure if it was this game though. I'm sorry about it. If they didn't play a Fantina, then it would be one of the other matchups for this video. I actually got mixed up. I'm really sorry. I'm not really sure if it's this game. They may not have a Fantina. If they do, we're doing 0 damage for that one turn. So they got 8 cards left in the deck. We got 14. I think it's looking pretty well for us. Unless if they do a Rod, I think we stand a better chance. Because we even did our Moisture Star later. And now we have 0 damage on both Pokemons. If they do a boss right now, it would be quite bad. Okay, they're retreating. This is not looking good. So that's why we decided to play 2 bosses now. I think for this list, we only have 1 boss. And I'm pretty sure we discarded. I don't think we played a single boss yet. We don't actually have the V-Star. We got the V-Star prized. That's why I say we need the Rod. So we got a bit unlucky. There we go. If they do the boss, they can kill the bench. Our bench Goodra with 2 hits. And I don't think we can recover enough damage to deny them the knockout. Because they got 200 damage though. 200 means we need to recover 19 damage counters at least to avoid the knockout on the next turn. If they do a Choice Belt, they're gonna kill the bench with 1 hit. So that's why I say the game's not over. Choice Belt is gonna earn them another 2 prize, and all they need is another boss to kill, an Escape Rope boss to kill the Crobat and the Togepi. And that's 5 prizes. They don't even need to deal with our active. Crobat is not a good card because your opponent can boss it for 2 prize. That's why we eventually remove that from the deck. So Crobat is very risky. If you play Starmie and Zamazenta as well, is a bit risky, but I think Starmie has value because if they play Arceus, you're gonna be able to knock out something for 2 energies. If you play Melony, you can attack instantly after doing a switch. You can attack instantly after your Goodra gets knocked out for a 1-hit KO against a VMAX, against a V-Star, against any Pokemon. If you have enough energies in your opponent's, if your opponent has a lot of energy in play, you may be able to do a VMAX knockout even. Energy Spiral is a very powerful attack, and if you do a surprise bench, if you bench it, if you play your Melony on your turn and then do a switch, you can actually do a surprise Energy Spiral to do a surprise knockout with Starmie. That's the power of Starmie for a water deck. We are playing Melony anyways. And for Zamazenta, you get to hit the weakness against Kyurem. I really wanted to win against Palkia Kyurem, but we lost a lot of times against Palkia Kyurem. And then the minute we added Zamazenta, they decided not to match us up against Palkia that many times anymore. I think we got matched up another one time, but we lost again. So I don't think we stand a good chance against Palkia. I'm sorry to say, this deck is not going to work against Palkia QRAM, because QRAM gets to kill the first V-Star. It gets to knock out our first Goodra with, 5 energies using Star Portal, and I forgot QRAM's ability, but if they discard the top deck, if the top deck is a water, they got 5 energies in one turn to knock out the first Goodra with 370 damage without the Choice Bell. And then after that, they actually get stuck though. So if we can get our second V-Star out, we may be able to we may be safe for a few turns to do the boss to knock out all the QRAMs before they're able to get enough energies into play, because they got no more Star Portal, they got only Melony to attach 1 or 2 energy at a time, but they do have the ability though, if they have more than 1 QRAM VMAX in play, they may be able to attach more than 1 energy with the ability. So that's the danger of QRAM VMAX, is the OHKO condition. They can kill anything with 1 hit, and they can kill it fast. With Oranguru, Training Court is just madness. Is crazy madness. So I'm not sure if we should be attaching the Metal Energy right now. Because we may need it for the retreat cost if they do a boss stall. I don't think it would work though, because they have 5 cards left, we got 10 cards left. So there we go, they did a Fantina. At some point they did a Fantina on the last turn, I think, and we actually did 0 damage. We would have knocked out the Goodra right now, like the active one, but they actually played the Fantina, and now we need a boss. We don't have our second V-Star, which is quite annoying. If we can somehow fish the boss out, that would be really, really helpful. I have no idea what we should be doing right now. We're gonna be dead on the next turn if we don't do something. So Goodra is gonna die, and then we have our basic to attack, but if we don't get the boss on the next turn, we're not able to do much. Yeah, 120 is enough to kill us. And now they got another 2 prize. They're down to 3. They have like more damage counters in play though. So if we kill both the Goodras, they got only Cramorant to attack, and that's all we need to do, right? To kill both Goodras. Same goes for them, I guess, because both players have no other attackers. They do have Cramorant though, but it's not doing enough. And if they attack with Cramorant, if we knock out first both the Goodras, if they attack with Cramorant, we can knock it out on the next turn. I don't think they have enough damage if they do the Cramorant, because 110 minus 80 is a lot less, right? Okay, we got the Greninja. I think we actually did the boss this turn. Pretty sure we did the boss. So we're trying to prepare for Moonlight Shuriken, because, okay, no boss. That was a big surprise. Okay, we did Slip and Trip, forcing them to switch into either the other Goodra, for them to retreat and discard all energies. Oh, we didn't do... Okay, we did the other one. Okay, because I guess we were trying to prepare for a Choice Belt. If they do a Choice Belt on the bench, they can actually knock us out. So I think it's safer to play the second attack. Oh my goodness, they're doing a boss. Okay. They don't have a Menifee. I guess that's the reason for fear of the Greninja. For fearing the Greninja. we actually have a third copy of Goodra. We're playing 3 Goodras in his deck and 2 V-Star, and we didn't get the second V-Star, which is quite sad. If we play Rod for this deck, we would have gotten the V-Star by now. We would have recovered the V-Star. If we play more Bibarels than the Crobat, or like a Marnie instead of the Crobat, we would be able to get the Rod and the Ultra Ball for the second V-Star. So that's why this is one of the experimental cases. We did not, you know, add the right cards into the deck. Escape Rope. So whatever they put out, we may be able to get 1 prize this turn. I don't think we can get... If they put a Goodra though, we're doing 140 raw damage. That means they can't actually put the second Goodra because they got no damage reduction. Thanks to the 1 Escape Rope. We have no more Escape Ropes though. That's our sole copy. So let's hope we get the Goodra. There we go. We got the V-Star. We got the V-Star. Okay. Now we just need to survive 1 turn. We just need to survive 1 turn. If they do the boss on a Crobat, we're done for. We just need to survive 1. They got 1 card left in the deck. If they play a Marnie, it would be quite terrible. Okay, Fantina. That's really bad. Another Fantina. Oh my god. Fantina is buying them a lot of time for them to do Crystal Cave. So Fantina Crystal Cave is actually really good. But I prefer Togekiss. I just prefer Togekiss because Fantina doesn't protect you from 1 price attackers. It only reduces damage done by your opponent's V Pokemon. If your opponent is playing something like 𝘿𝙬𝓷𝓭𝓮𝓻 from Evolving Skies or Torterra, you know, high damage attackers, 𝘿𝐶REAMY from Billion Stars, if they do 𝘿𝙬𝓚 as well from Lost Origin, they can actually kill your, you know, they can damage your Goodra and get past the Fantina's effect. So they're not doing 120 less damage. They're only doing 80 less damage from Rolling Iron. They're not doing 120 less. So instead of reducing by 200, Fantina is not doing anything. It's only reducing by 80. They got no cards left in the deck. Do they have the boss? Do they have the Marnie? Do they have the Rod? If they don't, we win the game. We got 1 card left though. If they play the Marnie, I think they win. So that's why we need the Rod. Not only to save our deck since we're drawing with Bibarel, drawing and discarding with Bibarel, but also to cycle back the cards that we discard with Ultra Ball for us to play Bibarel's ability. So that's the way of playing. That's how you do a Bibarel deck. Play enough, you know, enough Ultra Balls and Aurora Energy to discard, and enough Rods to recycle them. We actually won that because they decked themselves out. So we got enough. We got more turns. We did play our Moisture Star first, so we should be winning, I suppose. But they did Fantina, and we didn't get our second V-Star, so it's anyone's game at that point, honestly. I'm quite surprised that we won that. Even with a Crobat on the bench. I'm quite surprised. Because I think they have more lost supporters. They got Chorus, Fantina. I don't think they have any boss. Okay, here comes a Blissey Goodra deck. They're playing the 1 price Goodra from Lost Origin that actually prevents all damage done to your Pokemon that has any metal energy attached, done by V Pokemon. So if your opponent is attacking with a Pokemon V on your Pokemon that has metal energy attached, they are doing 0 damage. It's basically a Miltank on your other Pokemon, right? They are using a Miracle Guard ability on all of your Pokemon, any of your Pokemon that has metal energy attached. So as long as Blissey has a metal energy, if they have a Goodra in play, we cannot actually do damage to it with our Goodra. We cannot do damage to it with our V-Star or our Starmie. Zamazenta. But we can attack with our Togekiss Greninja, which is not doing enough damage to knock it out. So all they need is the Goodra and the Metal Energy. If they get it fast, I don't think we can win anymore. But we have our boss to deal with the Goodra, with our Escape Rope as well to attack something else. So I don't think, it's too bad. I don't think we are that badly off. We still have, an edge to win since we are healing so much damage. They are doing a one-hit KO though. If we boss the Goodra, I guess that's the upside of a Blissey Goodra deck. The good thing about that combo is that if we boss the Goodra, they got an extra turn to get even more energies on the Blissey. That means they got, another turn to do a one-hit knockout. If we don't damage the Blissey this turn, if we are focusing on Goodra, that means we are giving them another turn to do Blissful Blast to get even more energies for the next strike. That means if we don't OHKO it on the next turn, they're gonna do an OHKO for sure. Okay, we're forced to play the Melony because we got no Metal Energy. Still no Metal Energy. So I think this deck is playing 2 Metal, 1 Aurora, and 1 Energy Search. It's still a bit bizarre that we are not getting our energies, even with, only 2 Metal, 1 Aurora, and 1 Energy Search. 4 copies should be enough. But eventually we decided to add an extra Aurora to replace for the canceling Cologne, because it's actually better that way. If we do a boss Cologne on the Goodra, we can actually kill the Goodra with the Metal Energy attached. So that's the power of the Cologne, I guess. And Togekiss is not able to do enough damage to kill a Deep Forest Camo Decidueye or Goodra, a one-price Goodra. So I suppose, there's always a disadvantage of doing more Aurora. There's always a plus side of doing more canceling Cologne in your deck. But if they don't play those cards, if they don't do Miltank Goodra, I don't think Cologne is going to do anything. Most times it's not going to do anything for you. You would just be discarding it from your hand just to draw more cards with Bibarel. Might as well just play another Aurora for extra discards. And for the Metal Energy as well. Okay, we're gonna do Moisture Star this turn and save our Togekiss for the next. I don't think we're able to recover enough to avoid the knockout. The reason being, we did not get our Metal Energy. If we got the Metal Energy, they would be doing a lot less damage. 210 is a lot. They don't have enough energy in the discard pile though, because they're playing a Stage 2 deck, Stage 2 support. I'm surprised they did not get their Gumi yet. No Gumi, because they're playing way too many special energies. And not enough discarding, not enough Zinnia or research to discard the energy. I don't think they're playing research though, if they're playing Stage 2. If they do too many research, they may need enough rods to shuffle back the Goodra, and they may not have that many research just because of that. So we got a Togetic and a Togepi on the bench. We're gonna save both for the next turn. They may just do a Marnie, but we're just gonna gamble on the Moisture Star and do our first Rolling Iron, tanking damage on the next turn, recovering with Togekiss on the next turn. No Gumi on the bench. That means we're safe for another turn to knock out the first Blissey. The next one is going to be a bit more difficult. Blissful Blast. They're playing a lot of special energy. Double Turbo doing 50 extra damage. Powerful doing 60 more. And Metal Energy for the protection, for the V-Guard. for not really the V guard, but the I'm not sure what to call it, V barrier. Because there's a V guard energy that reduces 30 damage done by V Pokemons, so we can't really call it a V guard. It's more of a V barrier, right? Because it's preventing all damage. Here comes the Gumi at long last. An Ultra Ball for a basic. I don't think they're playing enough VIP quick balls. Or they may just be really unlucky, I guess. They just need one in play, but it's better to have 2 Gumis or as many as you can on the bench, because your opponent can actually they can quite easily do a boss to deal with the Goodra. That means you're gonna have to recover. You're gonna have to re-evolve a second Goodra immediately after that, just to protect your Blissey again on the next turn. If you want to survive multiple turns with that Blissey, I think you actually need a lot of rare candies and rods to revive your Goodra to get another one onto the bench as fast as possible to evolve the second stage 2. And another one after that, if they do a second boss. So they really have no choice though. Your opponent has no choice if you're playing a Goodra, a 1 prize one, to do a boss to deal with the Goodra first, or at least an escape rope to kill something else. Okay, we got the boss, but I don't think we should be playing it right now, because they haven't yet evolved. We're just gonna kill off the Blissey this turn, because they have no Goodra in play. We should be knocking it out right now. If we don't, they're gonna get more energies in the game, and that Blissey is gonna be indestructible. So we have to kill it right now. We have no choice. And if we do Bird Keeper, we can draw more cards into our hand. We got the Scoop Up Net. We're gonna play the Scoop Up Net right now. I'm not sure if we did. We should be scooping up the Togekiss. I'm not sure if we remembered to do that. Should we bench the Goodra? We should bench it on the next turn, right? But we just played another Togepi. That means if we don't do another scoop on the next turn, we cannot bench the Goodra. We got our first V knockout. Now we just need to deal with the bench Goodra. We have 2 bosses and an escape rope. Let's hope we get them. We get to play them at the right time. Alright, their first one. And here comes the second Blissey. So immediately the Blissey is recovering the metal energy. It's a really smart deck if you ask me, because you get to take back not just the powerful but also the metal energy from the discard pile with your Blissful Blast. And that's an automatic V protection if you have Goodra in play. Right? It's a very easy, I suppose it's a bit too easy of a deck. Like Blissey Goodra, way too simple, but you could say the same thing with our deck. Goodra VSTAR with Togekiss. Simple sometimes does the trick, right? If you play a simple deck, it's going to be really consistent. It's not that easy though to pull off a stage 2 support, a stage 2 heal support. If you're doing a high energy attacker, we need 3 energies to attack with Goodra, and it's an evolution as well. Blissey is a basic, and it has only 1 energy attack cost. That means it's a lot more consistent than Goodra VSTAR with Togekiss. Is way more consistent. So I'm not sure why they're not getting their rare candies, why they're not getting their VIPs. I'm not sure why it's not working well for them. I guess they need to fit in a lot of energies. That's probably the reason for them getting stuck. If they don't play enough energies for Blissey, they may not be able to discard enough to do enough damage early game, and that may actually screw them over. So this game is about speed now, because we got the Lost Box doing Mirage Gate on the second turn with Bayonet and Lost Vacuum Colress. If they can play Mirage Gate on the second turn, they may be able to do Giratina V-Star to hit for 280 damage with Choice Belt. They may be able to kill the Blissey with one hit. So if you don't play fast, if you don't get enough energy fast, you are not able to win the game that easily. It's better to play more VIPs though, in my opinion. If you get your Goodra on the second turn, if you bench 2 Gumi on the first, you can evolve the stage 2 on the second turn and then attach 1 metal from your hand. If you play way more metal energies in your deck, you can actually attach, if you discard your energy with Pokestop as well, or if you play Pokestop with stage 2, it would be quite silly though, wouldn't it? So maybe a Tracking Shoes with Goodra and Blissey, Tracking Shoes to discard the metal energy, and then play the Blissey, play Blissful Blast to recollect it, recover it, you know, reattach it to your Blissey for an automatic barrier. Playing the ability fast is going to help you a lot, because that means you get to force your opponent to play the boss. If they can't get past the ability, they are doing 0 damage to the Blissey, and you get to get so much more energy into the game. So I think it's way more smart to play more VIPs, more ways to get your Goodra, to set up your Goodra, to evolve it fast and get it into the game as early as possible. They got Bibarel though for the draw support, so it's kind of the same. We have Bibarel, they got the stage 1 support, and they are playing a stage 2 combo with a basic. We're playing a stage 2 combo for a V-Star, and as I said, is a little bit more confined for our case. But since we are playing, you know, a heal deck, I don't know what's the reason. I guess we got lucky for this game because they didn't get their Gumi early. But as you can see, they're playing a lot of energies, a lot more special energy than metal. They got powerful double turbo and lucky energy in addition to the metal. Lucky energy is kind of good because if they play, you know, if you don't get your Bibarel fast, lucky energy is going to help you draw cards. No Greninja, no Radiant Greninja. They got Manaphy instead. They may have it priced though. Okay, we got no recovery, no Togekiss, we got the Crystal Cave. I don't think it's enough though. Okay, this is the point where the game gets interesting, because they actually have enough energy to kill us on the next turn. Even if we do a full damage recovery, they have 11 energies attached. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If they attach from their hand on the next turn, they got 11, and that means they're doing 300 plus damage. With the powerful and the double turbo, they're doing 20 more for each, for like 40 more damage because they have 2 powerful extra. That means they're doing 340 already. 350 is enough to kill our Goodra. Right? They got 310 plus 40. That's 350. That's exactly 340. So what we should be doing this turn is we should be attaching the energy to Greninja, but we lost time. We lost track of time and we did not do anything. We just attacked. We should be attaching the energy to Greninja before doing the attack, because that way we get to retreat and then do Melony on the second Goodra and then slip and trip to kill the Blissey. If they don't get the Goodra, if they don't get their stage 2 on that turn, we can actually knock out the first Blissey, well, the last Blissey. We can knock it out with our second Goodra by playing the Melony. Melony, Ultra Ball, we can discard everything else. We just need the basic. We don't need the V-Star anymore. We don't need the Togekiss anymore. We just need the basic and that 1 metal energy. We got our Bibarel to draw it out from the deck. We just need to play our Quick Ball, Ultra Ball, discard as many cards as we can, draw as many as we can until we get that Aurora or Metal for us to play our Goodra. Slip and Trip is all we need, 60 damage to kill off the Blissey. But they just decided to retreat, so we did not make a mistake. If we don't attach the energy on the last turn, which we didn't, then we don't have enough energy to do the retreat. We cannot retreat while attack at the same time because we don't have the retreat cost. And I don't think we can't play Escape Rope if we want to target the same Pokemon. And we ran out of our Scuba Nets already. No Scuba Net means we cannot actually switch the Greninja from the active spot. They got 6 prizes though, but I don't think they need a lot of turns to collect all the 6 prizes. So they gave us 1 whole extra turn, and they discarded 4 energies on the Blissey. Now we just need a boss to deal with the Goodra. We cannot actually hit the Blissey. So if we kill the active right now, we just need to play an Escape Rope or a boss. They're probably going to attach another Metal on the second Blissey on the next turn. So we may need to play a second boss, and I think we got the second one prized. If we don't get the boss from the prize, I don't think we can win this game. We do have our Greninja. Okay, we are attaching the energy to Greninja, preparing for Moonlight Shuriken. Oh, they have the Menifee though. So we still need the boss. We still need the boss. We got so many balls this turn. We got an Aurora and a basic Metal inside the deck. That means if we retreat with the energy on the last turn, we could have knocked out the Blissey with 50 HP remaining. Because I think it would be smarter for them to do the one-hit knockout. They should be killing our V-Star when they can. I mean, I don't know why they didn't. I guess they were expecting a Starmie, because we are playing Water Energy and Melony. Maybe they would be expecting a Starmie, because Starmie has Swift. Swift actually does 50 damage. We don't have a Starmie for this list. This is, you know, the final upgrade doesn't have a Starmie, but we do have an alternate list that plays a Starmie and another variation that plays a Zamazenta instead of the Starmie. So we have different deck lists, but for this game, we are not playing a Starmie. We got the boss, we won the game. So Swift is doing 50 damage and also ignoring all effects of attacks, all effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. That means abilities, all of their Pokemon's abilities, special energies, stadium cards, tool cards has no effect on your Starmie's Swift attack. That means you're doing 50 damage regardless of, you know, damage reduction effects, regardless of abilities, even against a Miltank, even against a Goodra. If they have Goodra in play, you are still doing 50 damage to the Blissey. So that's the power of Starmie. You can hit 50 damage at least on a Miltank. But you need 3 strikes to kill the Miltank, which is quite ridiculous. That's why I eventually decided, you know what, it's better to play more Aurora, no need the Cologne, no need the Starmie. I think it would actually be better. And if we got 2 bosses in the deck, I think we're good. So that's the key, 2 boss and 1 Escape Rope. That's the secret recipe to a successful Goodra VSTAR deck. So I think I'm just gonna end the voice right here and because to focus on the game. Hope you guys enjoyed this new combo. Today we're featuring the new Hisuian Goodra VSTAR with our Astro Radiance combo using Togekiss for the damage recovery. Shine of Happiness helps you recover 90 HP, 90 damage from your active Goodra, helping you tank even more damage on the next turn. We even have our Crystal Cave for extra damage recovery and Scuba Net to recycle our Touch of Happiness, Voice of Happiness, and Shine of Happiness. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy life.